Hi students, I am Ramesh, faculty in economy. So, this is the third class. We dealt numerous fundamentals besides subject. In last class, we dealt inflation, price rise, deflation, price down, recession, failing of economic activities, depression, fell down of economic activities, and a minimum support price, reflation measures, right? Then finance commission, over finance commission also, right? We dealt in the last class. Today, right, we are going to deal one fundamental. Next one is one old question which was asked in 2023 civils, right? So first we deal fundamental. So you may ask the question, that is, why fundamentals are very needed. As I told you, right, in our subject we have a special language. Without dealing that language, we can't move forward. That's why here, especially in my class, both fundamentals and subjects are given equal priority, right? So in last class also, economic, right, economic system, economic problem, right? So these were dealt, right? And economics also dealt. So why? Because we need to get passion first of all, right? Why the subject economy is inserted in the civils, and how the people happiness, how the people standard of living can be increased. Yes, all these dealt by the economy. So in each passing year, we should try to energize the economy. Otherwise, people can't get, yes, happiness. So people happiness simply depends upon the steadiness of the economy, right? That's why we need to produce more goods and services, right, which are enjoyed by the people, right? So today's basic word, that is basic economic activity. Basic economic activity. What is basic economic activity? You see here, for example, right, so this is the income. Let us imagine this is the income. Let us imagine that it is 100 rupees. Let us imagine, of which in our India around 70% of income spent over consumption. In the first class itself, I dealt it. Goods are two types: consumer goods and capital goods, isn't it? So here, out of 100 rupees, majority of the income is spent over consumption. So, and the residual amount, yes, that was 30%. 30% is spent over savings, isn't it? Savings. This is Indian scenario. Okay, so we are going to deal, yes, why Indian economy subjected to some leakages, why we, right, kept our, why we are not able to kept our economy on the developed list. We are going to see. You see here, these savings are parked, right? Banks. This is bank, isn't it? Bank. So savers parking their savings at bank, isn't it? The bank gives, right, money to investor. Money to investor. Here savers. Here savers. Okay. So savers saving their money in bank, bankers giving investment to investors. The investors right purchase the capital. Capital, it is machinery. With machinery we can produce goods and services. Goods and services, nothing but economy. Nothing but economy. I think it's clear. These goods and services are multiplied with the market price, then you get national income. This income again reflects here. This is income. I think it's clear. Yes. So why I am explaining this one? The student who is appearing for civil services need to have some broader concept in the subject. So why? Because here with reference to mains, they can ask the tricky questions. These are to be dealt with the hidden power, the subject power. So superficial knowledge, it is not enough. We need to have a depth knowledge, isn't it? Right. So here, out of 100 rupees, 70 rupees over consumption. As I told you, consumption technically treated as, yes, private final consumption expenditure, right? So one problem just we can see here, the problem is out of 100 rupees, 50 rupees should be over consumption, the residual 50 rupees over savings. But unfortunately in our India, majority of the income is being spent over consumption. Consumption goods are not important. We need capital goods. As I mentioned in the preceding classes, if you wanted to convert your economy from developing into developed, if you wanted to develop your status in international indexes, you must concentrate on capital. You see here capital. Your capital is created from investment. Investment is drawn from savings. Savings are drawn from income. This is a basic economic activity. So we need to run the basic economic activity without leakages. Right? It is a continuous process. Okay. In such a way, measures are taken. So you may ask the question that why Indian economy lagged into backwardness. You see here, banks are very weak in India. Bank role is very crucial. Why? Because banker can assemble, can connect savers and investors. You see, total savings in India treated as gross domestic savings. Total investment in India treated as gross domestic investments. GDS, GDI. I think it's clear. Yes. So here savers, investors are connected by the bankers. So banks must be sturdy, healthy. Unfortunately in India, no. Before 1991, unnecessarily we nationalized. That was a blunder mistake. Since 1991, what happens here? Total government banks fail. That's why 26 banks converted into 12 banks. These banks also to be privatized in the future. The main reason is the shadow banking, right? Overestimation of loan to value, right? These are to be dealt later in banking chapter, not now. I think it's here. So the main problem is in India, banks are very weak. Why? Because banks provide loans at a cheaper rate of interest. The cheaper rate of interest, right? So then only we can, yes, grab the profits. If you relied upon the money lenders, right, they charge exorbitant rate of interest. The total profits are washed out. That's why strong banking system we needed. But unfortunately, the banking system is very, very weak in India. That's why Nirmala ji, finance minister, subsumed 26 banks into 12 banks. And these banks also, published banks also, to be, right, privatized in the future. The reason is shadow banking. What is shadow banking? Yes, I am going to tell, right? Okay. Right. So, first problem we can identify, right, is the income is here 100 rupees income, of which 50 rupees over consumption, 50 rupees over savings. Why? Because savings are converted into capital, savings are converted into investment, savings are converted into production, savings are converted into national income. Savings are very, very important. But consumption exceeding, right, saving consumption must be matched. In such way measures are taken. It means here, for example, here 100 rupees. This is Y. This 100 rupees over 50 rupees on consumption and 50 rupees over savings. In such way measures are taken. Okay. What happens in India? Consumption 70. Consumption 70 means consumption 70, savings 30. Okay. Here, that's why here consumption means demand. Demand high, savings converted into production, that is saving, that is supply. Here demand exceeds supply in India. Why demand exceeds supply in India? The reason is our consumption exceeded the saving. That's why frequently we are getting inflation. To eradicate the inflation, what we have to do? We should try to match consumption and savings equal. Then only we can avoid the inflation problem. Since 1947 till today, we are facing the problem, that is inflation. Why inflation taking place? More consumption, lesser savings. More demand, less supply. So fundamental reforms are needed for India. Otherwise, no. Whenever price rise upwards, what happens here? The purchasing power of the people go down. When purchasing power of the people go down, automatically their standard of living go down. I think it's clear. Yes, that's why here the technique is your Y. Y means here income must be spent equally on consumption and saving. Why? Because savings becomes supply. Yes, your consumption becomes demand. We want demand and supply match. Whenever consumption exceeds, demand exceeds. Whenever demand exceeds supply, lesser than price rise upwards, it is inflation. The common problem in India is inflation. Why? Because overconsumption. You may ask, why overconsumption taking place in India? It is a populous country. So we should try to comply, yes, the demand with the right supply. In such a way, yes, production must be enhanced. So that's why here employment with growth policy we need to follow, not mass production. Production by the mass we need to follow. Then we should try to encourage the banking system. The loopholes which are present in banking must be eliminated then and there itself. Then only we can, right, support the economy. Total government banks fail in India. Right, I think that's clear. Okay. And a blunder mistake which were done before 1991 was nationalization of banks, private banks. That was a blunder. Overall, yes, overall, the situation in India, banking system not sturdy, not able to provide loans to the investors. This is the main problem. So stronger banks must be erupted in India. Then savings must be enhanced. Why? Because savings becomes investment, investment becomes capital, capital becomes production, production nothing but supply. This is the link system. This is basic economic activity. So our basic economic activity must be comfortable. In such a way measures are taken, otherwise not. Okay. So first remedial measure is the income. Whatever the income you earned 100 rupees, let us imagine. Yes, 50 rupees over consumption, 50 rupees over savings, that's all. In such a way measures are taken. But unfortunately in our India, consumption exceeds saving. That's why we should try to increase the savings, investment, the capital, production, everything. I think it's clear. Yes. So why Indian economy facing inflation frequently since 1947? The reason is consumption exceeds savings. Consumption must be matched with the savings. In such a way measures are taken. Next one is we should try to start study stronger banking system. Not only in the private sector, not only in the government sector, foreign banks also. So we should try to encourage the banking system. Why? Because government banks were failed in India. Without banks, we can't run the economy. Why? Because bankers can connect the savers and investors. I think it's clear. Yes. This is the basic economic activity, right? Okay. So, right. You see here. Shadow banking, just one word I used here, shadow banking. So next one is here, for example, your income, okay, 100 rupees, okay, here your consumption 70, your saving 30. What happened here? Consumption greater than saving. Yes, consumption reflects demand, savings reflects supply. So here price rise, inflation we are going to see. For example, out of 100 rupees, if you spend 30 over consumption, 70 rupees over savings, what happens here? Your savings exceeds consumption. Savings represents supply, consumption represents demand, then price down. It is deflation. It is deflation. This is inflation. This is inflation. This is deflation. I think it's clear. So neither inflation nor deflation in such a way measures are taken. So to do so, what we have to do is your 100 rupees must be spent over consumption 50 rupees, then saving 50 rupees. Yes, it is comfortable. The demand equal to supply, no price rise, just optimum price you realize. Optimum price you realize. I think it's clear. Yes. So in such a way measures are taken. In this process we should try to change some fundamental things. So the reason is, of course, we control population. Yes, TFR down to 2.0 from 2.1. Yes, excellent. Yes, the population growth rate also controlled in 1981. That was great year. Okay, since 1947 we are doing our best to control consumption and also population. Okay, no problem. But the saving problem in our India, capital problem in India, investment problem in India. Okay, that's why we should try to encourage the savings, investments, capital, production, everything. I think it's clear. Yes. So next word I used, shadow banking. What is shadow banking? You see here, State Bank of India, let us imagine. Okay, here one person is the borrower. Let us imagine borrower. Isn't it? Borrower. So whenever borrower opts to take loan is from SBI. Okay, he has to park a collateral security. Yes, security. Loan to value, collateral security. Right? For example, if the borrower place 100 rupee valued loan to value or collateral security with bank, the bank enabled to provide loan up to 80% of collateral security. You see, 80 rupees are given as loan. This is a process. If banks are following this process, no problem. Banks need not face any problem. But what happens here? One third person enter into the field, right? Okay, the LTV is overestimated. The LTV is estimated by the civil engineers. The LTV is estimated by the lawyers. Okay, some experts. Okay, they overestimate. 100 rupee valued collateral security shown as 1,000 rupees. Actually, the value how much? Only 100, but they have shown 1,000 rupees. How much loan is given? Right? Not 80, 800 loan is given to the borrower. Actually, his collateral security value only 100 rupees, but he is getting 800. So, the borrower wantonly becomes defaulter. This is the situation is going on. So, this shadow banking, the third person enter between SBI and borrower, he can manage the collateral security, overestimation of collateral security. Mr. Vijay Malia, Nirav Modi, all these persons has followed this process or this methodology. That's why total banks are collapsed. I think it's clear. Yes, that's why we can't protect the government banks. Why? Because shadow bank is going on. I think it's clear. Yes. So today basic right over. Next we should try to move into right question. Today question. Today, yes, question we are going to see, right? What was the question? Right. Right. The question is, consider the following statements. The question asked in 2023, right, civils. Consider the following statements. India has more arable area than China. The proportion of irrigated area in India as compared to China. The average productivity per hectare in India agriculture is higher than that of China. Okay, here the question belongs to agriculture and area. The year one basic they used arable area, that is grass sown area. Second one is gross irrigated area. This is arable, arable grass sown area. Irrigated area, this is gross irrigated area. Okay, so question, according to question, in both in GSE and GIA, India leading over China. The third one is productivity, produced capacity high in India, it is wrong. Right. Produced capacity in agriculture in India not more than China. China leading in productivity, produced capacity. Actually, when we consider rainfall, around 1100 millimeters of rainfall we are getting, but China just 650 millimeters of rainfall they are getting. This is China rainfall, this is India rainfall. However, our productivity seems lower. Productivity means the produced capacity. That's why third one is wrong. And about 2, right, we are having more GSA, more GA than right, yes. Of course, what is GSA, what is GIA, I am going to see, this is fundamental, okay. For example, according to data, the GSA, grass sown area, in India 16 lakhs 56,000, right? 780 square kilometers. Whereas China, it seems 10 lakhs 84,461 for square kilometers. Square kilometer. This is India. Yes, this is China. Okay. So that's why India leading over China accepted GSA. What is GSA? I am going to deal, right? Okay. With reference to GA also. Yes. This is 48% of area in India, but in China it is only 41% of area China. So in both GSA, GIA, India leading over China. The fundamental is what is GSA, what is GIA. As I told you, arable area nothing but grass sown area, irrigated nothing but grass irrigated area. In these two areas, yes, India leading, no doubt at all. Over China, okay, I think it's clear. Yes. So here answer is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, okay, but third wrong. Why? Because in productivity, China leading over India. So 1, 2 means 2. How many means 2? Only 2. That is right. B is the answer. I think it's clear. Yes. So now next one is what we have to do, right? Basic. We should try to deal the basic. What is the basic? You see here. Basic. That is grass sown area, grass area. For example, geography. 100 acres. Let us imagine. 100 acres. Let us imagine. Here, with reference to India, grass sown area, grass irrigated area. These two words seem alike, but we have a difference. We have a considerable difference between these two words, no doubt at all. Grass sown area. The grass sown area, yes, is here. Total plowed area, tilled area, right? Rain and source. Rain source. Source means here, right? Okay, well source, wells. Canal source, canals, tank source. Here GIA only source. That is well, that is canal, that is tank. I think here, yes. With reference to grass sown area means total area which is cultivated, right? Till area, plowed area. This area is cultivated with rain and source. For example, with reference to GIA, for example, out of 100 acres, we are using 50 acres for GSA. With reference to GIA, in GIA no rain is there. For example, rain stopped. Rain is stopped. Let us imagine. Then we can cultivate only 25 acres. So in GSA 50%. In GSA, GIA 50%. Why? Because 50 here 25. In 50, 25, 50%. It is understood that 50% of the farmers simply depending upon rain which is uncertain. This is the situation in India. So 50% of the farmers simply depending upon rain which is uncertain. May come, may not come. There is a problem. So if you wanted to increase the welfare of the farmers, we should try to match GSA is equals to GIA. In such a way measures are taken. For example, GSA, how many acres are cultivated? Here GA also 50 acres, but unfortunately only 25 acres we are cultivating. Lapse of 75 years of independence, we are having 450 rivers, southwest monsoon is coming, northeast monsoon is coming, okay, and coastal area we are having, perennial rivers we are having. What is this? That is the main problem. So farmers needed irrigation, gross irrigated area, farmers needed, not pesticides, not fertilizers. Each acre is given water facility, that is the thing we have to follow. With reference to Japan, each acre is given water by the government itself. But here what happened? That is the main problem. So that's why here the farming society in India is in stress. Yes, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, AP, farmer suicide is taking place. Right. Then daily 2000 farmers simply exited from agriculture. Right. Okay. And except Punjab and Haryana, rest all farmers who are growing paddy, yes, not getting any profit. Right. So this is the problem we are facing. 50% of the Indian farmers are in debts. In Telugu states, 80 to 85% farmers in debts. What we are doing? So the solution is not pesticides, not fertilizers, not direct benefit transfer. We should try to match GSA with GIA. For example, rain source both are there. 50 acres are cultivated. Without rain also 50 acres are cultivated. In such a way measures are taken. Right? Each and every acre must be given irrigation. That is the duty of the government. Why? Because we have perennial rivers. 450 rivers are there in our India. Southwest monsoon on June 1st. Northeast monsoon. Okay. So what we are doing? Still we are facing dry land agriculture. Still we are facing seasonal unemployment in agriculture. Still we are facing disease unemployment in agriculture. What is this? Come on, tell me. So inter-river linking system we needed, and every village is having tanks. Around 6.42 lakh tanks are there, are to be renovated. Right? The rainwater conservation badly needed in India. Right? Farm ponds are to be constructed. Right? So in such a way measures are taken. Otherwise we can't develop the agriculture. Because agriculture comes under primary sector, the basic for the economy. Okay. Otherwise, yes. Right. Okay. This is something about the question. Right. Okay. Here India is having more GSA than China. Correct. India is having more GIA than China. Correct. Want to correct? How many means 2? Only 2, right? Okay. Here B is the answer. I think it's clear. Yes. So this is the question, right? So it is understood that today we dealt basic economic activity. Nice topic we dealt. Why Indian economy facing inflation frequently since 1947 till today? The reason is high consumption, low savings. These two must be matched, and we should try to establish good banking system. Why? Because banker role is very crucial. They can connect savers and investors. Okay. In such a way measures are taken. Otherwise, yes, we can't. Okay. And we should try to encourage foreign banks, private banks, government banks. Okay. Cooperative banks. Okay. Yes, all types of banks are to be encouraged by the government. Why? Because here with bare hands we can't produce goods and services. The investor needed capital, the capital given by the bank, okay, and subsidize the rate of interest. Okay. For example, if they depend upon money lenders, they charge exorbitant rate of interest. Okay, usurp rate of interest is followed by the money lenders. That's what is the problem. Okay, and yes, in this class what we learned, consumption must be matched with the savings, GSA must be matched with the GIA. Only Punjab and Haryana farmers are enjoying a lot. Why? Because in their state almost all 85%, almost all GSA is matched with GIA in Punjab, Haryana. That's why these two states are very sound in agriculture. But rest states, especially farmers, are facing untold hardships. Okay, government giving money, direct money, no, money is not important here. We should try to provide water. Agriculture needed water. Okay. So our farming society simply they are habituated with fertilizers, pesticides, heavy dose of pesticides being used by the farmers. Then the land is subject to degradation. The productivity is going down. That's why the productivity means the produce capacity. As I told you, China, you see here, China, the average productivity per hectare in India agriculture is higher than China, not higher than, yes, China leading over, right? Why? Because Chinese people are in lesser rainfall, however their productivity seems higher. That's why heavy dose of capital can be pumped in agriculture. Private investment must be increased. Why? Because in the future, right, wars are to be taking place because of food wars are taking place. Okay. Why? Because total world, right, they are spraying pesticides, right, heavy dose of chemicals they are using. That's why the fertility of the soil is being washed out. So organic farming is very important. Avoid the right chemicals. Okay, I think it's clear. Yes, students, tomorrow we'll see. Right, thank you.